Welcome back to Who Died Today. Over the past few days, the world has bid farewell to some truly beloved and unforgettable stars. In today's episode, we pay heartfelt tribute to these remarkable lives and the legacies they've left behind. Before we begin, we kindly ask for a moment of support. If any of these stories have moved you or reminded you of someone special, please give this video a thumbs up to honor their memory. Thank you. Number 5. Rebekah Del Rio, the voice that made the world cry, has fallen silent. Today, we share devastating news that has left a silence in the world of music, one so haunting it echoes like the last note of a heartbroken melody. Rebekah Del Rio, the voice who stopped time with a single song, has passed away. Her voice was more than sound. Her rendition of Llorando in Mulholland Drive didn't just captivate audiences, it shook them to their core. And now, that voice is gone. Born on July 10, 1967 in San Diego County, California, Rebekah Coronado grew up immersed in music. From a young age, she was drawn to the emotional depth of ballads and the expressive beauty of Spanish music. Her Mexican-American roots deeply shaped her sound, giving rise to an artist who didn't just sing, she bled emotion through every note. Beneath the haunting beauty of her performances was a woman who battled quietly, who carried heartbreak, longing, and solitude into every lyric. Her songs weren't just performances, they were confessions, echoes of lived pain, of survival. 1990s, Rebekah began to find her footing as a singer-songwriter, recording and performing independently. 2001, the world discovered her. David Lynch cast her in Mulholland Drive. Her a cappella performance of Llorando, the Spanish version of Roy Orbison's Crying, left audiences breathless. 2006, she reappeared in Richard Kelly's Southland Tales. 2017, Rebekah was featured in Twin Peaks: The Return, once again collaborating with Lynch, proving her voice was timeless. Through each appearance, she wasn't just a singer, she was a spellbinder, a presence, a soul who sang from the depths. Even when it hurts, sing like it's the last sound you'll ever make. Rebekah once said in an interview, words that encapsulate her artistry. Though she remained private about personal challenges, Rebekah's music suggested deep wells of emotion and inner conflict, silent struggles that poured through every haunting melody. On June 23, 2025, Rebekah Del Rio passed away in Los Angeles, California. Her cause of death has not been publicly disclosed. Her family confirmed the heartbreaking news, asking for privacy while mourning this enormous loss. David Lynch, in a rare statement, said simply, "Rebekah's voice was pure magic. She gave film its soul." A fan wrote on social media, "She didn't just sing Llorando, she became the cry we didn't know we were holding in." Rebekah Del Rio will be remembered as the woman who reminded the world how powerful a voice could be, how it could crack open grief, pull beauty from pain, and turn cinema into poetry. She didn't seek fame. She sought feeling, and she found it. Her passing joins the chorus of great artists we've lost too soon, voices that shaped the emotional landscape of a generation. Haunting, healing, irreplaceable. The curtain has fallen. The stage is dark. But somewhere in the stillness, her voice lingers, crying, soaring, comforting. And that's where we'll find her, always. Rest in peace, Rebekah Del Rio. The world didn't just lose a singer, it lost a soul. And if you want to help us honor more voices that shaped our world, please like, comment, and subscribe. We'll keep remembering. We'll keep telling their stories. Number 4. Dave Parker, the Cobra, silenced just weeks before his Hall of Fame moment. Just weeks before he was set to receive baseball's highest honor, Dave Parker, the man known as the Cobra, has passed away at the age of 74. Today, we remember a towering legend whose power, personality, and pride help shape the soul of baseball. If Dave Parker inspired you, if you ever watched him swing with thunder or run the bases like a freight train, please give this video a thumbs up in his memory. Born June 9, 1951, in Grenada, Mississippi, Parker was raised in Cincinnati, Ohio, where he became a three-sport star at Quarter Tech High School. It was there that he showed signs of the greatness to come: strength, speed, and an iron will. His MLB debut came in 1973 with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Over the next 11 seasons, he became the face of the franchise, claiming the 1978 National League MVP, back-to-back batting titles in 1977 and 1978, and a World Series championship in 1979. Nicknamed the Cobra for his striking speed and fierce demeanor, he was one of the most dominant outfielders of his time. After Pittsburgh, Parker played for the Reds, Brewers, Angels, Blue Jays, and most memorably, the Oakland A's, winning a second World Series title in 1989. He retired with a .290 batting average, 339 home runs, 1,493 RBIs, 7 All-Star selections, and 3 Gold Gloves. He was, as he said himself, a five-tool player, and fans loved every one of them. But behind the power and precision was a man fighting battles unseen. In 2012, Parker was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, a challenge he faced with immense strength and dignity. On June 28, 2025, the Pittsburgh Pirates announced his death, just 1 month before his scheduled induction into the Baseball Hall of Fame on July 27. The crowd at PNC Park held a moment of silence. Baseball wept. He was more than a champion. He was an icon. Rest in power, Dave Parker. The field may be quiet, but the thunder of your bat still echoes. If the Cobra left a mark on your life, share your memories in the comments. Like, subscribe, and help us keep these legends alive. Number 3. William Shatner, the star who refused to fade. A shocking headline, a trembling whisper. William Shatner, is he gone? For a brief moment, the world held its breath. The man who took us to the stars, who taught generations to dream beyond the limits of Earth, had seemingly vanished into the great unknown. Picture this: a lone figure on a distant planet, gold uniform catching the sun. He looks into the distance and utters words that have become immortal. Space, the final frontier. With those lines, Captain James T. Kirk entered pop culture history. It wasn't just science fiction. It was a promise of hope, courage, and adventure. Shatner was the Enterprise. Born on March 22, 1931, in Montreal, Canada, William Shatner's early life was humble. Raised by Jewish immigrant parents, he was drawn to storytelling from a young age. After studying commerce at McGill University, he pursued acting with fierce determination. Shatner's breakout came in 1958 with The Brothers Karamazov. But it was Star Trek 1966 that defined him. Though the original series lasted just 3 seasons, it sparked a legacy spanning generations. In the 1980s, he starred in T.J. Hooker, and later in Boston Legal, winning 2 Emmys. In 2021, at age 90, he flew into space, becoming the oldest person to do so. Shatner's life hasn't been without pain. He lost his wife Noreen in 1999 and has battled tinnitus, a constant ringing in the ears, ever since a special effects explosion on the Star Trek set. Recently, he partnered with Tinnitus Quest to raise awareness. In a heartfelt video, he spoke of the condition's toll and the need for more research. This is a celebration of a man who is still among us, still fighting, still inspiring. At 94 years old, William Shatner continues his journey through life, carrying with him the echoes of a million memories and a battle with a silent, invisible torment, tinnitus. So today, we honor not his death, but his resilience. William Shatner is alive, still advocating, still dreaming. Join us in praying for his health and peace, and share your favorite Shatner memory in the comments. Number 2. Lance McCullers Jr. The Heart That Wouldn't Break. The notification flashed across millions of screens at 3:47 p.m. Social media froze. Sports bars went silent. In Houston, fans stared at their phones in disbelief. Lance McCullers Jr. For a terrifying moment, the baseball world held its breath. The man who had dominated innings with his legendary curveball, who had carried the dreams of an entire city on his shoulders, who had become synonymous with Houston baseball itself. He gone? The silence was deafening. The kind of silence that comes before devastating news. The kind that makes your heart skip a beat and your hands tremble as you refresh the page, hoping, praying for different words. This is something far more powerful. This is the story of a champion whose legacy transcends the game itself. A man whose impact reaches far beyond the pitcher's mound. A warrior whose spirit has inspired millions. Born October 2, 1993, in Tampa, Florida, Lance inherited more than just his father's name. He inherited a legacy of perseverance. Baseball flowed through his veins like lifeblood, but it was his heart, that fierce, unbreakable heart, that set him apart. When he stepped onto the mound for the Houston Astros in 2015, fans witnessed something special. Not just a pitcher, but a poet of pain and precision. His curveball didn't just break, it shattered dreams and built legends. Game 7, 2017 ALCS. The weight of a championship dream resting on his shoulders. Aaron Judge, that towering giant of power, stood in the batter's box. The crowd roared. The pressure was suffocating. Lance McCullers Jr. wound up and delivered 4 consecutive curveballs. Strike 1, strike 2, strike 3. Looking. Judge never moved. He couldn't. He was frozen by artistry, paralyzed by perfection. In that moment, Lance didn't just strike out a batter. He etched his name into the soul of Houston forever. But every legend faces trials that test their resolve. Lance's career has been marked not just by triumph, but by the kind of challenges that would break ordinary men. Elbow surgeries, months of rehabilitation, the agony of watching teammates play while he fought battles in training rooms and doctors' offices. Each setback could have ended a lesser man's story. Not Lance. His journey away from the major leagues lasted nearly 3 years, a testament to both the severity of his challenges and the depth of his determination. When he finally returned in 2025, grown men wept. Children cheered. Houston remembered what it meant to believe again. Off the field, Lance became something even more beautiful, a beacon of hope. He spoke openly about mental health when others stayed silent. He championed causes for animals when they had no voice. He mentored young players, not just in baseball, but in life. His teammates don't just respect him, they revere him. In a clubhouse full of stars, Lance McCullers Jr. shines brightest not because of his talent, but because of his character. On June 13, 2025, the baseball world's heart sank once again. A foot sprain, another injury, another setback for a man who had already endured so much. The whispers started. How much more can one person take? The answer came swiftly. Lance McCullers Jr. was activated from the injured list. He's scheduled to start Saturday against the Chicago Cubs. The Warrior is returning to his battlefield. To every fan who feared the worst when they saw his name trending. To everyone who has watched him battle through pain with grace and determination. To those who see in Lance McCullers Jr. a reflection of their own struggles. He is alive. He is fighting. He is not finished. In a world that celebrates the flashy and the loud, Lance McCullers Jr. represents something pure, the quiet strength of a man who refuses to quit. Every pitch he throws is a testament to the human spirit. Every comeback is proof that our greatest battles are won not with our arms, but with our hearts. So today, we don't mourn, we celebrate. We honor not an ending, but a continuation. Lance McCullers Jr. walks among us, still writing chapters in a story that inspires millions. His jersey number may be 43, but his true number is infinite, representing the countless hearts he's touched, the dreams he's kept alive, and the hope he continues to carry. The fighter who refused to fade isn't fading at all. He's still here, still battling, still believing. Number 1. Doug Sheehan, the heartthrob who graced our screens one last time. On this day, the world of television bids farewell to one of its most familiar and beloved faces, Doug Sheehan. A man whose kindness radiated through the screen, whose calm voice and steady presence made millions feel at home. Today, we honor the legacy of a star who left quietly, but will never be forgotten. If Doug Sheehan was ever a part of your evenings, your memories, or your heart, kindly give this video a thumbs up to honor his life. Born on April 27, 1949, in Santa Monica, California, Doug Sheehan grew up with sunshine in his voice and a performer's soul. His early years shaped a man who would one day charm his way into living rooms across the country. Doug rose to fame in 1979 when he stepped into the role of Ben Gibson on the popular primetime soap Knots Landing, a character that brought steadiness, love, and complexity to the screen. He also appeared in the romantic comedy 10, 1979, and starred in the NBC sitcom Day by Day, 1988, bringing his effortless charisma to every role. But it wasn't just his screen presence that left a mark. Doug was a man of great humility and quiet strength. Married to Kate Abbott for 43 years, he lived far from the spotlight in his later years, choosing privacy, peace, and simplicity, a choice as rare as it is admirable in Hollywood. Doug passed away peacefully at his home in Bighorn, Wyoming, surrounded by love. His family confirmed the news, sharing only that his departure followed a long illness, one he bore with grace and dignity. One fan wrote online, "Doug Sheehan was a part of my childhood. Watching Knots Landing with my mom was our thing. I'll always remember him. Doug Sheehan's story isn't just one of fame. It's one of compassion, quiet resilience, and lasting respect. Died on June 29, 2024, following a long illness. If he meant something to you, share your tribute in the comments. And please, like and subscribe as we continue honoring those whose legacies deserve. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to share your memories or favorite moments about these icons in the comments below. And if this tribute touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe for more emotional stories that celebrate the lives of those who will never be forgotten.